Hello. Uh, Today we are going to discuss about logic apps. Logic apps mainly we will use for integration. It is a serverless service in Azure. Uh, it's a low code component, low code no code component. It no need to we can write the minimum code to achieve the some tasks. It mainly used for the workflow or integration purpose. Let us look into the Logic App service. I'm going to create the Logic App consumption. There are two types. One is consumption and one is standard type. Standard type we can maintain state and stateless workflows. For demo purpose, I'm using consumption type. Uh, is okay. I'm reviewed and I'm going to create the Logic App. Logic App is created. I'm go- in the la This is the Logic App service. In the overview screen, you can see that you can run the trigger. There are a couple of options: refresh, edit, delete. Some options are there. At the same time, there are these are the common options: activity log and IAM, access control tags. These are the common features for all the services. Development tools: Logic App Designer, Logic App Code View, and API connections. Suppose we if you want to implement the logic app workflow, we can use the logic app designer. There are first a logic app will execute or will call based on the triggers, based on the triggers, some action. So that is time based or HTTP trigger or maybe some action happen, some message in the service bus, storage account. Some built-in templates are there, or we can use the blank one also. I'm using the blank one. Uh, uh, so this is a logic app designer. I'm selecting the trigger. So a starting point is trigger. I'm selecting the uh, recurrent. Recurrent schedule. So I'm maybe I can use every 3 minutes. Okay, fine. There are a couple of options. Every week, every day, maybe a specific day, minutes every second or a couple of seconds. Okay. Then next step, uh, I'm selecting the blob, get blob. Basically, uh, in this demo, for time based, uh, uh, every minute or some minutes, it will logic app will be called. In the logic app, we will read the data or JSON from the storage account, blob, and read the data. And based on the conditions, we can save into the particular tables. Suppose this is the trigger. This is the starting point. This is a trigger. Then read the data, read JSON from a storage account. And this is after some conditions, it will save into the table, Yazoo table. Okay, so uh, get blob content. It is asking the storage name. Um, access. Okay, I think I need to get the data from. I need to get the keys from a storage account. Storage account. In the already one storage account was there. Go, in the storage account, go to the keys. Uh, I need to key. I'm creating the st- blob storage. In the storage account, go to the storage browser or the storage explorer. We can see the mm, blobs. What are the blobs are there? There is a one container. In the container, we have the JSON. This is simple JSON. Uh, we can read that one. Yeah, maybe you can see that this is a storage explorer. Mm, it has a array of objects. Array of objects. With some properties. Yeah, what else there in the storage account? There is tables. There are two tables. Product table that is empty. Service table. Service results table that is empty. So we can uh, w- we have the array of objects. Um, each object is having the item type, product type or a service type. We can filter product type items. We can store into the product result table, service item type, service item uh, objects. We can store into the uh, service results table. Okay. Now I'm selecting the blob. Blob. Yeah. Then content type is X. Okay. That's fine. No step. N- Next. Initialize the variables. Initialize variables. file content. So whatever data we received, we retrieve from blob, we are saving to the one object, one variable. Save. Let us run for testing purpose. It ran. So you can see that every task is having the tick mark green. So all are succeed. Let us see what is the data. So we got the data from the blob. This is the data. Okay, fine. We we got the so this part is completed. We read the data from the blob. Then we can filter it out and store it into the Azure table. Okay. Then next step is then we can switch to the designer view. Next step, let us change the name. We are converting this action, converting blob content to string. Yeah. Then we are this is get JSON from storage account blob. Okay. Then we can select parse JSON to convert the current to convert into the JSON object. Parse JSON content is what is the variable name? Sir, we can use this survey result content. Okay, then schema. Uh, if we don't know the schema, we can just specify the array. Let us see. We can save it and run. We, we don't know. The, it failed. Okay, fine. We got the JSON. Copy JSON. Let us because schema is not matched. This is we didn't specify the specific schema for JSON. Go switch to the designer view, parse JSON. Use sample payload to create the schema. This is the schema array of objects. Okay. Then new step. Maybe let us save and run for testing. Yeah, you can see that this task also completed. Let us see. So it converted into the JSON string to JSON. It it parsed into the JSON. Then switch to the designer view. Let us change the meaningful name. Parse data as JSON. Then add the new step. In the new step, let us take the for each loop. For each action, go to the controller. In the control, for each control. In the for each control, we can select the body. This is the body, JSON body. Okay. Then add another action. Let us go to the controller, built-in controller, uh, condition, if condition. In the if condition, let us see. There is some types. Is what is JSON type? Uh, is a item type. Item type is equal to what is that product. Then it will this control will come to this path. Else it will go to this path. Let us save. Run trigger. So all are executed successfully. You can see that each iteration, what is the value? This is true. First one is true. What is the data? First object is a true. Is a first object is a product. Is product if condition is true, then it will go to the this one. Okay. Oh, then go to the next iteration. False. Second object is second object is having service, then it is going to the next one. So first object, object is having item type as a service, then we can store into the separate table, service results table. If item type is product, then we can save this one into the product result table. Okay, let us switch into the designer view. Add new step. No. In the for each loop condition, if it is true, then add a action. Uh, then we need to save into the uh, table. Before that, we can change the meaningful name for instead of for each loop through JS, JSON array. JSON array. Okay. Mm, we can select the another action, insert and replace. Insert or replace entity. We can select the insert or replace entity action from Azure table storage. Connection. Here it is not showing anything. Manually enter the connection string. Uh, okay. Anyway, we go to the keys. I already copied. Mm, this one, LogicApp. Okay. Create. Then add action. Still it is creating. I think it will take some time. Still it is creating. It is created. Then we can select the product result. We are going to, if it is a product, the item type is product, then we can store the object into the product result table. ID, what is the JSON type? This is JSON. ID, we can partition ID and ID. Uh, Partition ID, we can use the item type. Item type. Uh, uh, so item type as a services. Maybe we can use the product for this one, and item ID we can use for item ID. Row ID is item ID, and entity is entity. We can store current item, current object. Okay, we can repeat the same thing into false. We can use the same thing, replace or insert entity. Insert. Already we create the table. We can use you can create we can use the same thing. Service result, same storage account. Partition ID is service. Uh, or we can use the item type, partition ID item type instead of manual. We can here we can use the item type. I think this is item ID, row ID. Partition is item type. We can remove the manual item type. Yeah, you can here you can select the item ID, row key as a item ID as a row key. Entity is a current current item. Okay, okay. Let us save and go to the run trigger, run. All are completed. Okay, let us go to the storage account. Go to the storage browser, storage emulator, or storage browser. Go to the tables. Eh, So something wrong. All data maybe our condition is wrong. All the data is stored into the false. I think condition is wrong. I think go to the uh, container. Hey, yes, okay, go to the designer view. See, false. Uh, I think every time it's false. Uh, See, go to the next. False, false, false. Why it is false? Maybe our condition is wrong. To go to the designer, uh, loop condition. I didn't specify the value. This is my mistake. Go item type. Okay, product. I'm going to uh, anyway. This is insert or replace, right? It will update these two, and it, now this table is empty. Then it will insert into the two table. But I'm deleting these two records manually. Okay, let's see. Save, run. Click on the run trigger. Completed. Perfect. True. Perfect. Next. False. True. False. True. Okay. Go to the storage. Product results. Two records inserted. And here partition key is service. Here partition key is product. So our lab challenge is completed. Thank you for watching.